and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to Life of Dustmen in 1970. It's a BBC archive and we're just going to have a little look, a little delve back into history and see what life was like for the bin men of the 1970s. So let's get straight into it. This is when it was a proper
Harry,
graft.
the foreman, has been doing the job for 10 years. Les, an ex-window fitter and the youngest at 32, 2 years a dustman. Jock, 12 years and likes the job. Joe, ex-British Rail, 3 years in the job. Ted, 10 years service. Average for the crew, 7.5 years service. But what are the problems of the job?
Madness.
This is the thing we've got to put up with, you know. But we can expect us to do with this, like. It's not uncommon.
Not uncommon.
It's not uncommon. We get it pretty often, like. No dustbins. They expect us to pick it up.
Do you find that
Nah,
you
I
get
wouldn't
this
be
kind
picking
of
that
mess
up.
in necessarily depressed areas or anywhere?
No, not really, not all the time. No, sometimes in the good areas it's supposed to be good. Class areas, we get a lot of that, I know. It's just laziness, I reckon. People just thinking it out. They just say, ah, well, put it in the floor. They won't get dustbins. The landlord won't buy dustbins. All he wants is the rent. They never mind the dustbins, like, you know.
From the time I've been on the dustbin jobs has definitely changed. In so much as there's not so much dust now, but you've got all these non-returnables like beer bottles and packets and that, you know, where people used to burn their rubbish before, where they're not burning it now, they're just putting it in the bin.
Just think the back-breaking work that these men had it a lot harder than the bin men of today. They were just grafters. I'm not saying that the men on the bins today aren't grafters. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, just imagine you were doing it like this. Absolutely crackers.
And the general public's not getting the extra bin to put the rubbish in. And this makes our job heavier and also bulkier.
Mental.
Oh, you got the bottom falling out there.
Yeah, well, that's typical of the bins, especially around here, yeah.
Well, how considerate do you find people, or inconsiderate about their rubbish?
Well, they just don't worry about their bins. They just say it's up to the landlord, not me. They go, oh, there we go.
That's a lot. Do you get fed up ever?
Yes, I do, stay.
The men started their work this morning in the Notting Hill area at 7 o'clock. It's now about 9:30, and time for the dump, the first dump of the day. The dump done, now comes the tot, the selling of clothing and metals to the nearby tot shop. Though banned by one borough, totting, the selling of clothing and metals, is a recognised way of supplementing the £17, 17 shillings weekly wages.
£42, 6
Mental.
Dustmen are fairly close about what they earn from totting, but they're taxed at £78 per year, so Her Majesty's Inspectors of Taxes must reckon the earnings at 3 times that figure, namely £234.
Absolutely
Yeah, but this is all...
To know somebody that earns £234 a year. You must be joking.
You think that's pretty optimistic?
Yeah,
£234 a year.
£234 a year.
Well, I don't get it, because...
So with the alley at 10 and the clothing at 6 shillings,
Wow.
and the divvy split 5 ways,
You know, a lot of these young people coming up today take life for granted. I'm guilty of that myself. Mental, absolutely mental.
that's most of the breakfast
Humbling.
paid for.
Humbling.
And breakfast usually means steak, chips, tomatoes, a slice of bread, a cup of tea, and a natter. Cost of the breakfast, 5 and 6. Thus fortified with beef and tea, it's back to work and another couple of hours to the second and final dump of the day. Some folk might look down on the dustman's job, the scavengers of society and that kind of thing. But how do they see the job?
We can't all be ignorant. Well, if anybody thinks a dustman's ignorant, they're looking at themselves before they look at a dustman. Because I don't class though I'm a dustman, I don't class myself as ignorant by a long way.
The foreman, Harry, sets the pace as to when they finish, but it's usually about 1 p.m. No, say the crew, we do not do a second job. Les is usually home by 1:30. He likes this. It gives him plenty of time, he says, with the family.
But he's quite a young man to be doing this job.
And this was at a time when
you know,
the nuclear family was like strong. But over the years, men's testosterone levels, on average, have dropped by 50% compared to the average male in the 70s. You know, society is really stamped not on just men, but on women. It's absolutely crackers. Crazy.
do you think he should have been more ambitious?
Well, not really. I mean, if he likes the job, I should think
He's just
he should
doing,
stick to it.
he's just doing what he's got to do for his family. And fair play to
But
him.
do you reckon really it's quite a skilled
Because
job?
without people like this in the world,
Well, it's not skilled. But
mental.
It's a job that's got to be done. Someone's got to do it. It is an industry.
Well, Les, you may be doing a valuable job for the community, but is it a job you can actually like?
Oh yes, of course it is. I wouldn't change my job for anything.
fair play. Fair play. Absolutely crackers, isn't it? Watching things like this makes you sit back and think, we haven't got it that bad really, have we? But the government is certainly trying to make it that way. But that's for another video. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a subscribe, like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.